spoilers for the new JJK movie. Alright, guys, let's talk about what actually happens out of these scenes in that movie so that you guys are aware of what you will see versus what you won't see. And also, don't stay for any post credit scene. There's none, okay? I stayed long enough for it. Alright, so starting off at the very top left, alright, that is going to be one of the first scenes that you see after the rerun of season 2. Because the first about 40 minutes or so of the movie is season 2 just recapped. You're probably going to be a little bit confused at first because that scene at the very top left is happening kind of out of order. So they start with like the Yuta versus Yuji fight, and then they go back to the original like start of what Yuji's doing, and then they lead into that moment again. So it's just a little bit out of order, but it's pretty cool how they do it still. Then you're gonna see the top right scene. So yeah, Yuta is chasing after Yuji, and they both complement each other's speed, but that's pretty much all that happens there. They immediately go back to the Choso versus Naoya fight. Which, talking about Naoya, yes, he does hit that absolute cinema pose. So that's him telling Yuta, hey, bro, I'm on your side, relax. And then that scene of Megami over here scolding Yuji, that happens as well towards the end of the movie. What you're not going to see is anything to do with Maki and the Zenin clan or Maki holding Mai. You're not seeing any of that. And this scene right over here about Sukuna, yeah, that's just Sukuna. Like, he doesn't say anything, he doesn't turn his head. Like, this is the absolute most you see of him. And that's just happening right when the Yuta finishes off Yuji. And then the ending of the movie is going to be right here. Nothing crazy happens, all right? Tengen appears. And you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy is that the entire time Yuki's calling Tengen a he at the end of the movie. And at the very end of the movie, you hear Tengen's voice. And it's clearly a girl, right? Like, it's clearly a she. But when they're talking in this, nobody corrects her. And nobody says like what Tengen's gender is. And I don't know if they ever knew what Tengen's gender was, because I don't think that anybody ever made contact with Tengen before. And I'm not really sure if the higher ups did or did not. Like, somebody was taking orders from Tengen, and somebody had to see that Tengen was a female before she eventually turned into the cursed spirit lookalike that she turned into. So I'm just interested to see like who was communicating with Tengen? Like, who? All that to just say, they all show up to Tengen's room. Tengen says, yo, what's up? And then the movie ends. I was actually expecting them to talk a little bit more. Like, I was expecting this conversation to play out before they ended the movie, because I thought that they were going to end the movie with everybody walking out of the room to do their respective missions. However, that did not happen. So, I don't know. I guess it was okay ending. Yeah.